What's going on, guys? Professor Luffy here, and welcome back to another video. Today, I know it's a bit, what's the word? I procrastinated a little bit. Couldn't get this video out on time when I wanted to, but it's finally here. We are going to look over the NFL draft, particularly what every team did, and probably their first round, their second round, and maybe their third round picks, because the rest of those are just wild cards. We don't know what's going to happen to them, but we're going to be looking through their picks. I'll give them I guess I'll give them myself a grade, see how they did based on what they needed and where they took these players. So that's gonna be that. I'm gonna have another Nuzlocke episode coming out this week. And again, thank you guys all for the support. And yeah, let's get into this. So starting with Arizona, in the first round they took Zaven Collins, linebacker, and then Rondale Moore, the wide receiver, in the second round. Getting wide receiver, it was an enigma to me in the sense that you already had Christian Kirk. You had DeAndre Hopkins, Larry Fitzgerald, and A.J. Green. So I understand adding to that high-powered offense, but I really think that they could have went elsewhere with that. I think that if they went to, let's say, corner in the second round, that might have been a bit better fit for them. I think Rondale Moore is absolutely a great player, but I just don't know if they really needed that slot wide receiver when they already had a player like Christian Kirk. Who knows? Maybe they'll do him right. I mean, he had an overall ranking 54, and he went a little bit higher than what other people thought. And then going to Zaven Collins, I think it's a great pickup. By ESPN standard, they say that it's the best outside linebacker. I don't know if maybe they should have went Micah Parsons or Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. But either way, I still think that they did all right. I would give them a B- for those two picks. I understand they got Marco Wilson in the fourth round to get the corner, but I'll probably give them a B- because they got great players, but I think that maybe their needs should have been a little bit different in terms of priority. Then we go to Atlanta. Kyle Pitts in the first round, Richie Grant in the second round, and then even Jalen Mayfield in the third round, which I think is a great pick. I give the Atlanta Falcons a B+. Kyle Pitts, generational talent. Everybody knows he's a freak as a tight end, and I completely agree with that. I would know, but Kyle Pitts, absolute freak, really, really great player, length, speed, all that. And then Richie Grant in the second round, a lot of people have him as some of their favorite safeties. I don't know where he would rank on my list, but Richie Grant, great playmaker, and then Jalen Mayfield adding another offensive tackle. You can't have enough offensive linemen to protect the quarterback, especially in a mobile one like Matt Ryan. So overall, I think I would give them a B+ on this. I would have liked if they went a little bit more on defense. I know they got the safety, but maybe if they got the corner a bit earlier, maybe. But can't knock them for that. Falcons did pretty good. Then we go to Baltimore. They got the wide receiver in Rashad Bateman, which was really, really nice. They also got a pass rusher in, I'm not going to pronounce his name, but Owe from Penn State. And then even a guard in Ben Cleveland. So overall, I think they did a nice job. I'm also a fan of the Tylan Wallace and Shaun Wade picks. I think those two are pretty good finds later in the draft. So overall, I would actually give the Baltimore Ravens, I'll give them a B+ for this. I could put them in I could put them in A range maybe, but they did a pretty good job in terms of what they needed, getting Bateman and Owe. Maybe they should have went offensive tackle after trading Orlando Brown, but either way, pretty solid draft for the most part. Baltimore did a good job. Buffalo, I think the only thing they really needed were pass rushers, and their first and second picks were great pass rushers. So that they instantly turned a weakness into a strength. If those two pan out, I give Buffalo a B. It's not because of what they took; they got what they needed. However, they missed out on running back, and then also, how do I want to say this? They're late picks in the round, so we don't know how they'll pan out. We hope they'll pan out like a first and second round should, but we don't know. But either way, I do like going to defensive ends, getting back pass rushers, getting your weakness. I like it. B for them. Carolina, J.C. Horn was quite a surprise at number 8. I totally thought that they were either going to go Rashawn Slater or who else was I thinking? Rashawn Slater or maybe Maybe a wide receiver, maybe like Devontae Smith. I don't know. But either way, I was a bit surprised when they took J.C. Horn. And if they even wanted corner, I thought Pat Surtain would have went off first. But they took J.C. Horn and then Terrace Marshall as well. So overall, I'll give them a B minus. I like the Terrace Marshall pick, how they got him later than what a lot of people thought he might go. But J.C. Horn, I would have much rather seen Pat Surtain. I would have rather seen Rashawn Slater. I would have rather them got the offensive lineman or even Pat Surtain over that. J.C. Horn's a great player. I just think people are looking at projection based off what he is. I think that was a problem with some prospects because overall, Pat Surtain is a super polished corner, and they probably should have taken him over J.C. Horn, who might need some coaching to get to that elite level. However, he absolutely does have the potential to get there. Then we look at Chicago. They got Justin Fields. I'm going to give him an A. Justin Fields and then Tevin Jenkins to block for him. That's absolutely great deal for them. So Justin Fields and Tevin Jenkins, very good. And then Daz Newsome, probably an underrated receiver that I like, getting Justin Fields to help. So overall, I would give them an A for that. They really need the quarterback, and they got the quarterback that they needed. Good for the Bears. There we go to the Bengals. I'm going to give them a C+. They got the best receiver in the draft. Absolutely. Hands down, without a doubt. But did they really need a receiver? I already liked T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, so I don't really think that they needed another receiver. I know the connection with Joe Burrow would be spectacular, but if you got Penei Sewell, does Joe Burrow get hurt again? I don't know. And I know they got the tackle in the second round, but I think they reached for Jackson Carman. I don't think they should have taken him that early. Who knows? Maybe he'll turn out to be great and be a great protector for Joe Burrow. However, I think they should have went tackle here and then receiver here if they wanted. I just think that they got their priorities a little mixed up. But I do like what they got with Joseph Osai. So that was also a good pick. And they got a lot of different playmakers that can help their team. But still, I'll give them C+ because I would have liked to see offense tackle here. But they're not getting lower because they took Jamar Chase, the best receiver in the draft, by far. Then we go to the Browns. I think I have to give the Browns an A-. I don't know if I would. It's A or A-. They did great getting Greg Newsome in the first round and then actually having Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah fall in the second round. They had him as the 12th best prospect for whoever's grading these ESPN. But the 12th best prospect, and he fell all the way to about 51 or somewhere around there. So that was an amazing find by the Browns to get him in round 2. And then Greg Newsome in round 1, going with Denzel Ward. It's a really, really good pickup for the Browns. So congrats to them. Their defense is going to be a lot better this next year. And they killed the draft. They really did. Then we go to Dallas, Micah Parsons round 1, Kelvin Joseph round 2, and then many other people are a bit puzzled by the rest of their draft. I have to give them a B- probably. I like the Micah Parsons pick round 1. I think adding to that linebacker core after Sean Lee retired and having a playmaker on defense really, really helps Dallas. But I'm not a huge fan of the Kelvin Joseph pick like maybe others are. I think that maybe he could have went a little bit later. And I know this guy, it's either this one, Chauncey Golson. Many people had him way later, and they took him in round 3. So I don't know what that was about, but either way, it's a B-. I do like the Micah Parsons pick a lot. I think they absolutely help their defense. They definitely help their defense without a doubt. And they're going to be a lot better this year than what they were last year. So good for Dallas on that part. Then we go to the Broncos. I'm going to have to give them a C. A C. Just a C. Because they boosted their secondary when they got Kyle Fuller in free agency and then Pat Surtain as well. But it's puzzling to a lot of people, including myself, on why they didn't go for the quarterback when you had Justin Fields and Mac Jones sitting there. It's just puzzling. I don't know why they wouldn't take one or the other. Maybe they expect good things from Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock, but then again, I just don't see it. So that's a puzzling pick. And then going to Javonte Williams in round 2, I also just don't get that. I mean, I'm also a bit annoyed because they took it right before the Dolphins did. But I'm also just a bit annoyed on why they took Javonte Williams and traded up for Javonte Williams when they already have Melvin Gordon in the backfield. At the time, I forgot that Philip Lindsay went to the Texans, but still, you still have Royce Freeman and you already have Melvin Gordon. I'm not sure why they wanted to go Javonte Williams for that part, but he's still a good running back, third best running back in my opinion. And then Quinn Miners, good guard. I saw absolute workout video by him. That was amazing. So good job for getting that one. But either way, the first two picks just puzzled me a bit. The second one definitely. I understand going for secondary, but then again, I think they should have went with a quarterback, and we'll see how they do next year. Then we move on to Detroit. I really like what they did getting Penei Sewell. He just fell to them. It was no brainer. You take Penei Sewell, absolutely amazing job by them. You get Levi Onwuzurike. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I didn't. But they have them as the second best defensive tackle in the drafts. I can't knock them for that. I'll probably give them just a solid B. No, a B plus because I really, really like the Penei Sewell pick. So I'll give him a B plus for that. Levi Onwuzurike, also a really good job. And many people like the Amon-Ra St. Brown pick. I don't know too much about him. I think his dad played in the NFL, and genes generally fall from their parents to child in terms of athletics. So good job for Detroit getting a receiver for Goff, a offensive tackle, and then boosting up that defensive line. Nice job by Detroit. It's a good start for Dan Campbell. Then we go to the Packers, and I have to give them a C minus. I don't like what they did at all. And it's not because of Aaron Rodgers. I just don't like that they took Eric Stokes with the first pick in this round. When you look at it, you could have taken Tyson Campbell. You could have taken Asante Samuel. Both of those would have been much better corners than Eric Stokes, in my opinion. And no offense to Eric Stokes. I just think that they didn't take the right person in the draft at that point, and I hope that Eric Stokes' career works out, but I don't think that he should have been their first round pick, or let alone get an offensive tackle, get another wide receiver. But if you're going to go for corner, make it the best corner at the time, in my opinion. Then we go to Josh Myers, a center. I get Corey Linsley just left, but Josh Myers probably might have been a reach at that spot. But it just wasn't the flashiest pick for me. And Amari Rodgers, I like them getting him in the third round. But still, after that, I can't really say I like the rest of the draft. And the first pick, not my favorite. So Amari Rodgers might be my favorite pick in terms of their draft. And it's just wasn't a great draft by the Green Bay Packers, in my opinion. Then we go to Houston. I'm giving them a C- as well. Don't like Davis Mills. Brevin Jordan might turn out good. Nico Collins, I do like as a wide receiver. I think they got pretty good value on him. But then again, I think they're preparing for Deshaun Watson to leave. That's what this is. They are preparing for Deshaun Watson to leave. They didn't have a first or second round pick due to trading with Miami, and now they weren't able to build on much, and they're probably some people are predicting that they'll turn out to have the first overall pick next year in the draft. And who knows, maybe they will. We'll see. We don't know where Deshaun Watson's going to go or if he's going to stay, but Houston, not a great draft. Moving on to Indianapolis, I mean, it looks like they filled in all their needs. I love the Kwity Paye pick. I don't love the Odengbo pick. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong again. And then I don't know much about the rest of these. I know they got a backup quarterback. This isn't like the Jalen Hurts thing. Carson Wentz is a starter. We all know. But after that, I just don't know. I like Kwity Paye a lot. Not a huge fan of this guy. I think they definitely reached for him. As you see, they probably picked him somewhere around 50, and he had an overall rank of 109. So I understand boosting the defensive line, but afterwards, when your left tackle just retired and you only got the offensive tackle. They did get Eric Fisher in free agency recently, which is really nice. but still, they probably should have addressed it in the draft maybe a bit earlier. And, Chris Ballard, he's a great GM. I just don't know if this was one of his better drafts. But either way, we love the Kwity Paye pick. So for that, I'll give them a B- for this. Then we move on to Jacksonville. And to be honest, I'm a bit baffled. I'm going to give them an A- just because they took Trevor Lawrence. It was the easiest pick. It made all the sense in the world. He's the quarterback of your future. It makes total sense. And they did a great job in not screwing that up. They took Trevor Lawrence. Amazing. However, I don't think they needed Travis Etienne. I just don't think so. I think they either had to go for the offensive line or they had to go with wide receiver there. I just don't understand the running back when you already have James Robinson in the backfield. I understand you're going to build a strong running game. I know you also brought Carlos Hyde from free agency, so you're already going to have 3 backs, and I heard some things about Travis Etienne just being a third down back. Getting touches there, which wouldn't make sense at all. If you're drafting in the first round, you want him to be your future back. So to be honest, this doesn't make the most sense to me by Urban Meyer. I like the Tyson Campbell pick. If Green Bay took the Tyson Campbell pick, I would have liked it much more over what they did with Eric Stokes. And then Walker Little, don't know too much about him, but I know they needed the offensive tackle, 6'7", 313. And Stanford guys, I think they generally work out. Look at Andrew Luck. But Walker Little, probably a good pick on the offensive line. And then Andre Sisco in the second round, and the first pick of the third round, I really like that as well. Getting a safety for a playmaker in the backfield. In the secondary, really, really enjoyed that. So overall, I'll give them an A-. I'm just a bit baffled by this ETN pick. It just doesn't make sense to me. Because you already had James Robinson. Many people don't value running backs in the first round. You probably should have just won defense or somewhere else on the offense. That's the only thing to me at Jacksonville that confuses me. I think that ETN will be a great player. I just don't think that they needed him at 25. There you go to Kansas City. Get Nick Bolton and Creed Humphrey. I really like those 2 picks. They didn't have a first-round pick because they traded for Orlando Brown. So you could include that in here as well because it's kind of like they took a pick for him. So I'll give them an A- for this, I think. I really like they needed help on the defense at linebacker just a little bit. And then also getting Creed Humphrey, helping shore that offensive line after free agency and draft. Really, really nice job by the Chiefs in fixing that. Mahomes won't have to run for his life anymore. So good job by the Chiefs. I'll give them an A- for being able to rebuild the offensive line and get a playmaker on defense. Then we go to the Chargers. The Chargers, I'm giving an A. I'm giving them an A. Almost everyone else is giving them an A. Rashawn Slater fell to you at 13. Offensive lineman to protect Justin Herbert. Absolutely amazing pick for them. And then Asante Samuel Jr. Getting him where they did in the second round is fascinating in my part because I watch Florida State games. I know how good of a cornerback he is. I don't know why he wasn't taken earlier. If Green Bay took him, I wouldn't have complained about that either. So they did a really good job in finding that value pick in the second round. And then Josh Palmer, third round getting wide receiver. I know he's got a lot of potential. So a really good job helping Herbert in this draft. And overall, they did a really good job with this draft, so I'm giving them an A for that. Then we move on to the Rams. The Rams, I'm giving them a B-. I don't know how many people here are going to work out. I know a lot of people are buzzing about the Jake Funk pick, but Tutu Atwell, the main pick here. You get another wide receiver for Matthew Stafford. I think that makes Cooper Kupp, Tutu Atwell. And I don't know if Robert Woods left. I think he's still on the team. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's a good job getting another receiver for Matthew. Oh, Deshaun Jackson as well. So they got a lot of deep threats for Matthew Stafford to throw to. It's not going to be that kind of play action offense that people are used to seeing. I think they'll stretch the ball a bit more than what they did previously with Jared Goff. So good job by the Rams to get that. And I know they're not going to have a first-round pick for the next 2 years either. So we'll see how they do getting depth in that too. Then we move on to Vegas. And I would be totally okay with this draft if their first and their second pick were just swapped. Because I don't understand the Leatherwood pick in round 1. I mean, I get it. It's offensive line. You needed offensive line. But at the same time, you also needed defense. Playmakers on defense. Trayvon Merrick would have been a great player to get at 17. I mean, I think he was the 17th overall prospect. That would have been an absolute steal for you. That would have been absolutely great for you in round 1. So Gabe Leatherwood, round 1. I know John Gruden doesn't care about what I say or what anybody else says. Good job for him getting his guys. Overall, I'll give this a B. No, I'll give it a B minus. I probably would rate it higher if Leatherwood and Merrig were switched. I'm not in love with any of their other picks, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of the Kuntz or Diablo pick. So for that, I'll give them a B minus. Probably could have done a little bit better there. Then we move to the Dolphins. And real quick, how many more teams do I have? So I got a bit more to go. But had quite a lot of picks due to trade, so we got to go through their first 5 because their last 2, we'll see if they make the team or not. But Waddle and Phillips. Waddle, amazing player. We know he'll be able to stretch the ball for Tua, be that playmaker that Tua needs on offense, as well as Jalen Phillips, be the playmaker they need on defense because they didn't get enough pressure to quarterbacks last year. And if they had somebody else paired with Emmanuel Ogbah on the other side, it would have been a lot. They would have been able to create a lot more pressure, and their defense probably would have been a lot more dominant because they just didn't have that dominant pass rusher with Ogbah. But now they do in Jalen Phillips. Really nice. Javon Holland, I questioned whether they should have went with offensive tackle here or if they should have went with running back. However, Denver took Javonte Williams, so it's understandable. But I do like Javon Holland. I think they should have went Trevon Merrick before the Raiders got him, quite honestly. I don't know how Javon Holland ranks after being a COVID opt-out, but I like that they took a safety I think safety was another position that they needed. They cut Bobby McCain, and now Javon Holland looks like he'll take that starting spot. Then we get Liam Eichenberg, and after trading up, I really like the pick. I don't know whether he'll play tackle or guard, but either way, they needed to help that offensive line. And Hunter Long, another weapon for Tua to throw down in the middle with Mike Gesicki. It's really nice. Overall, they did a really good job in this draft. I know a lot of the other experts believe so as well. And for that, I'm going to give them an A. I wish they were able to address running back a bit earlier. But then again, I don't think that they could have predicted that Jacksonville would take a running back or that Denver would have to take a running back. But either way, good job with their draft overall. Really nice. Then we go to Minnesota. And I like what Minnesota did. I really do. Being able to trade back to get a lot of first-round picks and still get a great offensive lineman, Christian Darrisaw, was a really nice move. And then Kellen Mond as well. I like his upside. I think he's a lot more of a complete prospect than Kirk Cousins would be because he's more mobile, he's stronger in terms of that. So I like the Kellen Mond pick, maybe more than others. And I like Chaz Surratt as well. I thought he was a great linebacker, thought he would go earlier. I also like Wyatt Davis, great guard, thought he would go earlier. Overall, I'm going to give the Vikings an A. I'm going to give the Vikings an A. I think they did a great job with what they had, and I got to applaud them for that. Then we go to New England, and here we go, another quarterback in terms of Mac Jones as well as Barmore. I also like the Ronnie Perkins and Stevenson pick, maybe more than others, but I really do like those picks as well. I mean, people thought that Perkins might go second round. He went third round, late in the third round. So good job by New England finding these players. And Belichick's going to be a lot more formidable than he was last year, that's for sure. Overall, I'm going to give New England an A as well. I might be a lean grader, but that doesn't mean I think that they made bad selections. I mean, they made really good selections. They needed quarterback. They got quarterback. They needed to shore up. They didn't want people to run on them anymore. They got Christian Barmore. They, again, shoring up the defensive line, Ronnie Perkins, and then getting running back to help in that run-style offense, getting Ramondre Stevenson. I mean, he's going to be with Damian Harris. I think James White's still there. So they're going to have a great backfield. That's a good job by New England getting these players. Then we go to New Orleans. I'm giving New Orleans a C. A C minus. I don't like what they did. When they announced Peyton Turner, I had no idea who this was. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I haven't heard anything about him going in the first round at all. It was a big surprise on my part coming from Houston. Maybe he'll do good, maybe he won't. But Pete Werner as well,
Had no idea about this. I just Ian Buck. I don't know how many quarterbacks they want now, but either way, I can't make sense of any of this, and I'm giving them a C minus. It just doesn't make sense to me. Then we go to the Giants, and I really like what the Giants did. I'm giving the Giants an A. Kadarius Toney, great job trading back with the Bears, getting an additional first-round pick. You also trade back the Dolphins to get Azeez Ojulari later on, another person that was supposedly supposed to be a first-round pick. So I really like what they did there. I also like the Aaron Robinson pick. Great help on the defense. I really like what the Giants did. Maybe they didn't get their needs, but I really do like what the Giants did. I'm going to give them an A for that. I can't knock it. We go to the Jets. The Jets also had a great draft. I don't know. I might be giving another A. I can't believe it, but still, they did a really, really good job. They got Zach Wilson, quarterback of the future. They traded up for Elijah Vera Tucker, the best offensive guard in the draft by far. Really, really good job with that. Elijah Moore, great wide receiver that many people thought were going to go in the first round. Absolutely a steal as well. You get Michael Carter, a running back, to help in the backfield again with Zach Wilson. You're getting tons and tons of help on the offense for Zach Wilson. And then, I also have to give them an A because they drafted two Michael Carters. Michael Carter the first and Michael Carter the second. I just can't knock it. That was just an absolutely hilarious coincidence to me. So for that, I have to give it, as memey as it is, I have to give the Jets an A. They did a really, really good job. Honestly, I don't think that it'll amount to much this year, but I think next year they'll be dangerous. Or not next year, the year after. They'll be dangerous. So we'll see how the Jets do, but that's really, really good job by them. We move on to the Eagles. I like the Devontae Smith pick a lot. I also like the Landon Dickerson pick a lot. I also like the Kenneth Gainswell pick at the bottom here. I think they did a pretty good job getting some high-impact players that they can use. They definitely helped out Jalen Hurts quite a bit. And for that, I'll probably give the Eagles a B+. Not that they were all my favorite selections, but they were still some very, very good selections in terms of what they needed. So it's a really good job by the Eagles getting these players, helping their team quite a bit. So a B+ for them sounds about fair. Then we move on to Pittsburgh. I really like Najee Harris. I really do. I want Najee Harris. Couldn't get him. So Najee Harris, really good pick. Pat Freiermuth, I don't think they needed a tight end, to be quite honest with you guys. So to me, that's Pat Freiermuth, great tight end, but I just don't think that he should have been the one to go there. And then you finally get your center and Kendrick Green in the third round. You probably should have addressed the offensive line earlier. So for that, I'll give them a B-, simply because I like the Najee Harris pick. I don't know if it matters what running back you have if you don't have an offensive line for them to run behind. So for me, in terms of that, I just don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers did a great job in their draft. I just don't. We have Seattle, Dwayne Eskridge, Trey Brown, and Stone Forsythe. Well, let's just say they didn't have a lot of draft picks this year. That's for sure. I think they needed to go offensive line here. Dwayne Eskridge may be a great wide receiver, but you already have DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I just don't know if you really, really needed another wide receiver. And you have Chris Carson still. It just doesn't make sense to me that you went Dwayne Eskridge. Either way, he's not a bad pick, but not a great pick. They didn't have a lot of draft picks. And for that, I'll give them a B- as well. Just I'll give them a C+. It's not great in my opinion. John Schneider is a good GM, but I don't think they did well in this draft. And I'm sorry for my dog in the background. But either way, Seattle, not a great draft class. Then we move on to the 49ers. They did an absolutely great job getting Trey Lance. I really, really thought that they were going for Mac Jones. I'm glad it was just a smokescreen. But after that, I don't love their draft. I do like Trey Sermon. I think that he'll be an impact player. But I'm not sure about Aaron Banks. I think he went a bit higher than what he should have. But I really love Trey Lance. Really, really love him. So for that, I'm going to give them a B+. Yeah, I'll give them a B+. I don't know what their plans are for him in the future, but I really like what they did. Then we go on to the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You get Joe Tryon in the first round. I think it's just a good pick overall because what else did you really need on that team? You had everything you needed as well as returning all 22 starters. So for that, Joe Tryon, great pickup. Again, I'm sorry that my dog just keeps barking in the background. But Joe Tryon, first round, really, really good job. Kyle Trask in the second round. It'll be interesting being behind Tom Brady. We'll see how they like it. And after that, I can't say I know much about their draft, but I like what they did with their first 2 picks. Maybe people say that they shouldn't have taken Kyle Trask considering Tom Brady can play for however long, but either way, I really enjoy the Joe Tryon pick. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I'll give them a B minus. Yeah, I'll give them a B minus because it's nothing too spectacular. I'm coming back on my word. Then we go to Tennessee. I like Caleb Farley. I like Dylan Redunds. I like Elijah Molden. I like Des Fitzpatrick. They did pretty good, considering that they don't normally do great on their picks. I know they got Caleb Farley because he dropped due to back issues. So I hope everything will work for him. But if he wasn't injured, I would say he'd probably be the number 1 corner in this draft. I'm not sure why he fell so much, but originally he was above Pat Surtain and J.C. Horn. So I think they got a really good deal in getting Caleb Farley there. And I like Dylan Redunds, the offensive lineman. They really needed a tackle after Isaiah Wilson didn't work out. And for that, I'll give them a B for this draft. Nothing too spectacular, but they did pretty good in getting value picks. And finally, the Washington football team. Jamin Davis in the first round. Samuel Cosme in the second, as well as getting De'Ami Brown as well. I like those picks. I don't know. I think they probably should have went wide receiver a bit earlier, in my opinion. I like that they got offensive tackle, and I like that they got linebacker as well. Really high impact players that they can have to their offensive line and defensive front 7. So overall, it's good. It's not great, but they still did a good job in getting what they needed. I'll give them a B for that. And yeah, that's the final team. We got through all of it. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know which of my grades you agreed with, which ones you didn't agree with. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I'll see you guys in the next Nuzlocke episode on Wednesday, I think. So I'll see you guys then. Peace.